Welcome to the WIHS Journal. On the broadcast with me today is the founder of Iron Sharpens Iron, Brian Doyle. We'll be talking about the Iron Sharpens Iron Marriage Conference that begins Tuesday, October 20th. It's a virtual conference also featuring Family Life Today. Welcome next to all the details. Familiar voice and sound to the radio of WIHS. I know that WIHS, Brian, kind of started you out on your Iron Sharpens Iron ministry. Tell us now what your ministry is up to these days.
Well, excellent point. Yes, back in the early 2002, we had Man to Man Express on the radio at WIHS, 725 every morning, 5 days a week, and what a blessing it was. And it did give the visibility to the ministry that we needed right then and there, so that men would hear about the ministry and understand that we want to build godly men. And that continues what we want to do. And what we're doing this fall, because we aren't going into doing live on-site conferences, we're doing both an ISI marriage conference and then an ISI men's conference. But right this month is an ISI marriage conference, which is for men and their wives. And the idea there is that the men have told us, both in person, in surveys, and with their feet, by which seminars they go to, that the most important thing that we can do for them, it gives them the training and encouragement they need to be godly husbands. And that's what we're doing this month.
That is so awesome. And talking about the ISI Marriage Conference, it is virtual, but you are featuring very prominent speakers from Family Life Today, Dave and Ann Wilson. So let's talk a little bit about them.
Well, aren't they the best?
Yes.
I mean, one of the advantages is that Dave and Ann don't have to, they're flying enough from Little Rock to Michigan, where they live and pastor, and they did actually accept an invitation to come to Boston and speak at our ISI Marriage Conference in Boston, but we just said, we're just going to do it virtual. And so if you enjoy the ministry of Family Life Today and David and Wilson, they're going to be on. We've got a number of, speaking of Family Life, we have a number of Weekend to Remember speakers, the kind of speakers that come to the weekends. And so they're coming because, again, there's no Weekend to Remember conferences, so they're looking for opportunities to continue their ministry. So you're absolutely right. Some of our lineups with these virtual conferences are off the charts strong because there's no conferences being held anymore.
I know. People are hungry, and people, right from your own bedroom and your bathrobe and coffee. How can it get any better, right?
We're maybe some of our listeners are seeing, we're sending out a little bit, little emails and social media of couples who are together online on a laptop, and we just say that they must be at an Iron Sharpens Iron marriage conference because they look so happy.
That's a good one. I like that. So the conference, now tell us when it begins and when it ends and all that stuff.
Usually we do these conferences, and we've tried to make them friendly to people. So we start early on a Saturday and try to get them out of there. It's one day. There's no overnight. Keep the costs down. But we're not doing it now. So now this is what it looks like. We're doing just little tidbits, small 70-minute sessions throughout the week. So this particular week is coming up later in October 20 through 24th. So on a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Hartford time, on a Thursday night at 8 o'clock Hartford time, Friday night, 8 o'clock Hartford time, and then Saturday morning at 8:30 in the morning, there'll be an opportunity for a couple to together choose from 5 seminars, which will all be live. I mean, for instance, Dave and Ann Wilson, they'll be live. Bill and Pam Farrell, they'll be live. Whatever day it is, they'll be live. And you'll get to choose which one you want to participate in. 40 minutes of like what I call a workshop environment. So from 8 to, say, 8:40, 8:45. Then, because it's live, we'll have some dialogue and maybe do a deep dive on a little question and answer and talk a little bit about what does this mean in my marriage right now. So we're looking forward to having an equipping experience for couples that they can do together and just take little bits at a time. So it's not like a dump truck dumping all this conference information after 6 hours. It's simply about an hour at a time for 4 different days.
That's great. So they'll have the opportunity to pick which one they want to sit on with.
They will, and they'll be live. And the ones that they don't pick, include the ones they do pick. At the end of the conference week, our team will give everybody a link, and they'll get all 20 that will be recorded. But we're not doing any pre-recorded. We know there's some good stuff out there. It's probably great. It's pre-recorded. But we like it when there's some interaction and give and take. And so everything that we're doing the week of the 20 to 24 will be live.
If you're tuning in right now, this is Brian Doyle. He is the founder and the president of the Ministry of Iron Sharpens Iron. But this time it is not for men. It's actually a marriage conference beginning Tuesday, October 20th and running through October 23rd. And I love some of the sessions that are going to be there. Do you have your flyer in front of you? Maybe we can maybe just touch on a few of them.
Well, you can touch them on the ones that you like as well. I'll touch on the ones I like. I like Bill and Pam Farrell. Now, Bill and Pam Farrell came to Hartford last year, so maybe some of our listeners went. But one of the things that I like, because it really had helped Barb and I in our marriage, is that men are like waffles, women are like spaghetti. Waffles, we compartmentalize. We are able to put things in different boxes and they never touch one another, whereas women, again, in general, everything touches everything. And, it's just life is not compartmentalized. It's all connected. And so understanding that about myself and understanding that about my wife, that was really helpful.
I see a familiar name to WIHS, Frank and Yvonne Mito, about money and marriage God's way.
Because Yvonne does a great job. We know all the data, both our data and data from Compass Ministries and different ministries, even local church pastors know that when it comes to tension in marriage, it often is a result of just not having a viable financial plan. And so that's where they're going. It's a very practical seminar about how couples do finance together. So we're really looking forward to that. Again, very practical, very inspirational. These type of seminars, you get to choose exactly what you want, and everybody can go and check out all 20 of them simply by going to our website, ironsharpensiron.net.
Great. Now, Brian, I want to know how you branched out, because I know you were extremely popular with the men's events and, selling out stadiums, which is amazing. You've done that for years and, really impacted the men, especially here in this area. How did you branch out into marriage conferences?
Well, I would say we really haven't branched out. This is something that is a little specific to the New England. Across the rest of the country, not so much. Some of our ministries are doing a couple things like that. It's just that what we've discovered in our New England ministry in particular, and I think it's probably nationwide, but I can only speak for New England because that's where our data comes from. All the men on a consistent basis are telling us they need more in the area of marriage. They're just not getting enough. The local church is offering stuff, but not enough. They want things specifically. Pretty much the most consistent thing that men are saying is a hard area, a challenging area that needs more attention is their marriage. Every man, every woman that gets married wants to succeed. We want to do it to the glory of God. We don't just want to survive. We want to thrive in our marriage. Well, again, I guess I would say to the men that are listening that, this is the time for us to rise up. Let's take the initiative. Let's invite our wife. If you're a wife and you're listening, make sure that your husband and you at least have a conversation about this. This is the time where, especially during this very unique season of our lives where we're going through all this tension, we want to make sure that we re-engage with God on the most important relationship that we'll ever have here on earth, and that's with our spouse.
Once again on the broadcast with us was Brian Doyle from Iron Sharpens Iron, talking about the Iron Sharpens Iron Marriage Conference that begins Tuesday, October 20th. It's a virtual event featuring Family Life Today and many of its top-notch speakers. For more details, give WIHS a call at 860-346-1049. The opinions expressed are those of the participants, not necessarily those of a staff and management of a station. I'm Anissa Porticelli for News and Public Affairs.